Hello, bonjour, namaste, ni hao, and ohio, everybody. What is going on? It is Gale here. Welcome back to the YouTube channel once again for another Danmachi Season 5 video. And today, I wanted to do a little bit of a discussion video on when we can expect Season 5 to return. Of course, if you guys weren't aware, and you guys might be wondering today at this point in time where the episode might be, the episode has been delayed indefinitely. Episode 12 and onwards, we have no idea on when they're going to be airing. They have delayed it due to production reasons, and so we're waiting to see for any information from, of course, the Danmachi anime team and Fujino Omori as to when we'll get the episodes next. Now, of course, in this video, I want to kind of talk about when we can expect those episodes and my personal predictions using, of course, information that we already have, and of course from pre-existing shows that have also been delayed in the past, and talking about my thoughts on whether it's a good idea and will it actually work, them taking this time to, delay the episodes, and how much time do they actually need to, actually get the episodes to us in really good quality. Now, of course, if you guys going to enjoy today's video, remember to leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your thoughts. When do you guys think the episodes will come back? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say in the comments. Of course, if you guys have watched more anime and, you've experienced anime that I might have not, that have gone through the same thing, let me know your thoughts. When do you guys think the episodes will come back? I'm curious to see your thoughts on the entire situation as well. Now, of course, first things first, let's just do a bit of a TLDR. On Monday or Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday morning, we got confirmation from, of course, the Danmachi anime team via Twitter and, of course, their news portal website that the episode 12 release that was supposed to happen today on Thursday, it was unfortunately delayed due to production reasons, and Fujino Omori added his own thoughts to it about how, due to the complexity of Season 5 in terms of all the animation, the characters, the story, and everything, and obviously due to the higher standards that JC staff has, at least with Danmachi, they decided to take time from, instead of just pumping out what was a minimum standard quality episode, to instead delay the episode and take time to give us a high quality, higher standard Danmachi episode. Subsequently, we've made some jokes about previous seasons as well, having certain things. I saw the Colosseum episode recently because I think somebody I follow was rewatching or just actually doing their first ever watch of the entire Danmachi season, and I saw one of the Colosseum episode. He posted that, and he was gassing it up, and then I just randomly see a PNG bell just flying across the screen in one of the shots. So it's not like JC staff has been amazing with Danmachi in the past as well. They have definitely had subpar animation at times as well. So it's one of the reasons why going into episode 11, obviously I wasn't so unhappy compared to everybody else. I actually was impressed with some parts of episode 11, but definitely I do agree with a lot of people with what they said about the Otaro and Bell clash scene, and especially what happened after the clash, because leading into the clash I was okay with it, but then clash and the clash onwards, it was a little bit rough, for sure, no doubt about it. And so obviously I think they might have seen that, and they know themselves that the quality was a little bit rough, and so they made the decision to delay episode 12 and onwards. Now, of course, a lot of people even came to me and suggested that potentially that, this week and next week, because it's the holiday season, Christmas, New Year's, whatever it may be, right? All of the above, or whatever else people celebrate, and, everybody else is taking holidays and everything, right? This is the reason why they might have delayed the episodes, and I would have agreed with that initially, but it doesn't make sense for them to not give us a date in that situation, because they could have easily said that, oh, because it's the holidays and, we would like some more time to refine the episodes potentially as well, and we want to give time to our employees. We would like to take this week and next week off, and we'll come back on the 9th of January, because obviously next week, 1st of January is on Wednesday, 2nd January is when the episode would have aired. Usually episode 13 would have aired on the 2nd of January. That's not gonna happen, right? I don't think that's gonna happen. They would have given us a date. They would have confirmed that 9th of January is when the episodes would have returned. Then it's not happening. I don't think that's the case. Otherwise, we would have gotten a date. So I don't think it's because of the holidays. This is genuinely due to production reasons, and I think they're being honest, at least when they're saying that, which is good, because at least they're being truthful that it is production reasons. Now, there are obviously subsequent dates that could make sense, you know, the 19th of January, the 16th of January, the 23rd of January, and so on and so forth. We'll have to just look at every Thursday that follows up after the 9th of January. I don't think the 9th of January is possible. I don't think next week's going to happen either. I think this is going to be something that will take a longer period of time, basically, for us to get. Now, unfortunately as well, you have to remember that JC staff isn't only working on Danmachi. I mean, this season alone, people were saying they're working on so many different shows. I mean, if we take a look at their Wikipedia page and we take a look at their TV series, is right, we can go a little bit ahead in time. I mean, you see how many shows they do every year. It's crazy. But you look at this alone, right? You see October, they had Magie Lumiere, they had Danmachi, they had Stories of Girls Who Couldn't Be Magicians, Murai in Love, The Do-Over Damsel Conquers, the Dragon Emperor, Demon Lord 2099. So they had 6 different shows. Now, luckily for us as Danmachi fans, going into January, it seems like they only have one show coming up, and that is the Danchro Honey Lemon Soda. I read the wrong thing basically. So going into January, they only have one show lined up for the winter season, and I was a bit concerned going into this upcoming delay that, you know, obviously TV slots are a thing. You have to remember that TV slots are a hot commodity in animation and anime and the industry itself, because you pay so much money for those TV slots. It's actually kind of crazy because there's just so many shows coming out. There's so many different studios vying for those slots and so on and so forth, that unfortunately you have to spend a lot of money to get those slots, and you only tend to get a limited set of slots. It's one of the reasons why I feel like, of course, that's the reason why we got so little episodes, because again, Warner Bros and SB Creative would have, you know, assigned a budget for, okay, this is what we're going to give to JC staff for the production of the anime, this is what we are going to do in order to also get the episodes we need. And if they say like, okay, 15 episodes is all you're getting, okay, you go and tell JC staff 15 episodes is all you're getting. I had a comment say that you know, JC staff and Amori should have maybe pushed back a little bit to try and get more episodes. They can do their best, but obviously you have to remember, big executives, CEOs, all that sort of stuff, and everybody, they obviously want to make sure they're profiting the most. And at the end of the day, if they feel like they're going to be able to get by with 15 episodes, and if JC staff says that, yeah, well, we can do maybe 15 episodes, but we'd like more, the moment they hear that, yeah, we can do potentially 15 episodes, they'll be like, okay, 15 episodes is all you're getting then. And it's like, okay, shit, it's like, well, tough then, you know, in that situation. And so it becomes a bit of a tricky situation in that regards, where the slots become a big problem. And obviously going into a delay, you are running into the risk of losing those slots, right? You lose those slots, you don't get the ability to air that shit. Now, thankfully, of course, today, for example, they decided to re-air the entirety of the Danmachi season 5 episodes, right? Episode 1 to 11. They're hosting like a whole party thing as well, New Year's party with like Matsuoka, Inori Minase, and everybody. So at least they're covering their tracks there and using the slots to their advantage. Now, of course, the next couple of weeks, they're gonna have to figure out something there, and then of course when the episodes come back and they're ready to go, they'll have to figure out on when they can air them. They'll have to book in slots. They'll have to figure out, okay, can we use these slots? And they might not be the slots they want necessarily. They might be much later times that they don't really want to air the episodes at, but they might have to, just because there's no other option realistically for them to do so. And so that will be a big problem. So we're gonna have to wait and see. But it's a good thing that at least, you know, going into the next season, JC staff only has Honey Lemon Soda, which is a very, like, okay, it's only one show kind of. It's not like anything too crazy. They can kind of focus on Danmachi as well at the same time on the side. And to be honest, they might be able to get much more manpower as well in it as well. Obviously, One Punch Man season 3 and everything is going to be much later in 2025, so at least Danmachi will get that advantage going into the upcoming break, where they're going to be able to get more people on deck for the show, which is good. Again, it's something they maybe should have considered beforehand. Maybe a January release would have been better, knowing now that, you know, there's only one show that they're prioritizing, rather than, what is this, 1 2 3 4 5 6 shows, right? They could have had 5 here and then 2 here, and it would have been absolutely fine. But again, pressure from potentially the likes of, you know, Warner Bros, SB Creative, the idea of potentially, you know, trying to make sure it's during the 10th anniversary of the light novels, you know, making that announcement back then. But then it would have made much more sense to do it in 2025, because it's the 10th anniversary of the anime then as well. Again, I have better ideas than them clearly right now, because you could have easily done season 5 as this big 10th anniversary project for Danmachi, and jobs are good and everybody's happy, we're happy, they're happy, they get time as well to work on the anime, and 15 episodes wouldn't have been that much of an issue nonetheless, even with, you know, a little bit of time for preparation for animation qualities and all that sort of side of things. At least that would have been good, right? Maybe the episode count wouldn't have changed, but at least we would have had more time with the you know, anime's production side of things, which would have been good now. So okay, now that we know that, you know, basically going into 2025 for the winter season, which of course, remember that the reason why I'm also looking at the seasons and everything, remember winter seasons 3 months, January to March, March to then it's April to July or June, then July to September is summer season, and then October to December is winter season, right? Obviously, now going into the next season, there's less shows coming up for JC staff and everything, so that's good. Now the question comes into play of how much time will they take? How many days will they take? How many weeks they'll take? Will they take maybe months potentially? I don't think necessarily months will be the thing. I just don't see that being the case here at all. I don't see months being a big problem, of course, right? The bigger issue is going to be the time they'll take, and in terms of like how much time do they need to perfect the episodes. Now they have, of course, 4 episodes lined up, and you know, we have to wait and see what they need for those 4 episodes: 12, 13, 14, 15, right? 15 probably will not need as much production quality, because of course it's going to be an epilogue, everything's going to be a lot more calmer, it's not action focused. But at least 12, 13, and 14 are going to be heavy action sequences and heavy battles, and you know, obviously motions. There's going to be a lot of motion in the show, in the episodes. So for those episodes, you're going to need time. I think, in all honesty, if we're being realistic, I don't think we're going to get the show or the episodes until at least, and my earliest was initially 16 Jan, you know. I might have mentioned it in the previous video that I think 16 Jan is the case. I think it would be better if they give us it on the 23rd or the 30th of Jan. Take a whole month, take a full month, maybe even more than a month. Look at maybe 6th of Feb as well. I think going between those 3 dates is, I think, the earliest we're gonna get the anime back. I think that we're going to be looking at potentially like that sort of date. I think 30th of Jan looks the sweetest to me personally, where it's not too late, but it's not too early either. I think it would make the most sense as well. I think it'll give them enough time to also work on all the episodes as well simultaneously, and it's not just them, you know, working on maybe episode 12 and 13 and then being like, okay, we can catch up kind of thing, or working only on episode 12 and then being like, okay, we'll do the rest later on. No, it's gonna be like, okay, this week, next week's a holiday for them because New Year's and Christmas, of course, right? So let them relax a little bit, I suppose, right? Obviously the days they take off and everything, and then when they get back into it and properly get into the groove of things, of waking, you know, getting the product out and everything, you're looking at obviously 1 week, that obviously between the 6th and the 10th of January. Let's say they work Monday to Friday, 6th to 10th January, then 13th to 17th, then you have the 20th to 24th of Jan, and then of course by then you have to prepare the previews and everything's for the episode. So you have basically about 3.5 weeks, let's say, to get everything ready for the for episode 12. I'd like to imagine that would be good for them, to be quite honest. I'd like to imagine that would be much better for them. And also, like I said, now that they're going to be able to have more people on deck potentially for the episode, maybe they'll probably be able to get more people in to the team, right? Because they're gonna have less shows happening in the winter season, right? I think we're gonna be in a much better position going into the upcoming season. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, of course, right? I saw some people also talking about it. I think obviously one of the homies, of course, right? One of the main people who obviously, you know, tweets a lot about Danmachi and of course made videos about Danmachi, obviously until very recently when he got busy, but he was also talking about it and stuff, and you know, obviously he mentioned stuff about 86 and Zombie 100 or Zom 100, and he's absolutely right. Like you know, they had to air those final episodes much later. I mean let's take a look at 86, of course, right? The anime, and I don't remember when the last episode aired, but I want to say it was like much later. I remember it being much later. Let me see, let's see the last couple of episodes. So I think it was episode Yeah. It was this. So it went from December to March. So they had to wait 3 months for us to get the last 2 episodes of 86. So, I mean, if it's anything like that, I mean, we're looking at potentially a much later time, man. We're looking at what? I mean, it's exactly the same time as well, no? Exactly the same time. 26th December. That was, well, our last episode was on the 19th of December. So a little bit earlier than that, but they literally had to wait as well for 3 months. So, I mean, if it's anything like that, I mean, I don't know. I don't remember episode of the Dead's delay as well, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, they had to also probably wait for a while, I think, as well with their delay. But anyways, we're gonna have to just wait and see. Yeah, they had to wait for a whole month for theirs as well. So it just depends on the situation at hand, right? We'll have to wait and see, of course, on what's gonna happen as well. Like he also actually mentions it as well. There's also no guarantee of the quality we'll get, because usually anime studios work on the next projects back to back. So while Danmachi is delayed, the next studio's project will get some priority. But obviously, I think, you know, now that we know that there's not much in JC Staff's, you know, box effectively right now for the winter season, I think it's actually more beneficial, because it's a lot less shows than what they were dealing with beforehand. So you're gonna have more people working on the project. They might even pump in a little bit more budget as well. Maybe Warner Bros and SB Creative are like, okay, maybe we might have made a mistake and stuff, and we'll, you know, maybe they might actually smash out something that's good. You know, we'll have to just wait and see. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say, of course, right? Do you guys agree with the situation? Agree with my thoughts on the situation? Do you guys think differently? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, all that sort of good stuff, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy, everybody. Bye bye.